Hi everyone. Hi. How are you doing? It's been it's been a while. It's been like how many days since I went live last. I hope you guys have not missed me too much. I hope my absence was not felt that much. I hope you had so many things to keep you busy. What have I been busy doing? Well, before I tell you that, let me see those who are in the chat. Wow, I have somebody from Russia. This is let me not even try to pronounce the name. He said, "Hi Frank from Russia. Thank you for your amazing videos. Thank you so much." And this person's username is STD. Interesting. Nigerian Prince. That's me. That's me. Frank Steven himself. Hey, I've been seeing the conversation that's been going on between Can You Not and Shenazaya. People are really enjoying yourselves. This is from Jazz. Hi Frank. How is South Africa? How are you? How are you? How are you? Shana, how are you? Although I cannot highlight some of the things you're texting. You're saying in the comments. I hope all of you have, I hope you guys had a very wonderful day, very wonderful week. This week was an interesting week for me, especially on Friday. Despite all the bad news that was, there were so many bad news in the world, very many, But on a positive note, there was the Kendrick Lamar concert on Friday. No, was it on Friday? No, on Wednesday. When was June 19th? That was Wednesday. Wednesday. Yeah, there was the Kendrick Lamar concert on Wednesday, and I was watching it. And I was like, this is powerful. This is something to be happy about. This is something to be happy about. And as I was watching it, I was like, sometimes you have to pop out and show people. Let me know. Let me not say it exactly how it's supposed to be said. I was like, yeah, I need to pop out and show people. So I was motivated. I was motivated by Kendrick Lamar's concert to pop out. Like, you have to pop out. You cannot keep hiding your face. You have to pop out. And yes, so uh, this is from Reverend Dan Onyaba. I hope I pronounced your name very well. He said, "I really appreciate your point blank postulations." Thank you. That's what we are calling it. Yes, point blank postulations. I like the way you state it. I like that. Very, very interesting way of putting it. This is from Shina. She's like, "Hey, Nigerian perspective." No, that's not how it is. At a Nigerian perspective with Frank Steven. Hello, friend. Yeah, hello. How are you? How are you? How is the United States? How is everyone there? How are you guys faring? How is the weather? Elizabeth said, "Kid that did it big." Yes, he did. He did. It was an interesting concert. Although that's not what this live stream is about. I'm not here to talk about Kendrick Lamar. I'm just using this to say a couple of things so that some people who are not yet with us can join us. This is supposed to start by 8:15, but I usually start my live stream early, so I try not to be like some people, you know. So yes, concerning the concert, it was an interesting. I'm very sure many people in the audience are like, "What is he talking about?" You know, I know I'm in Nigeria and I'm supposed to be focusing on Nigerian music, but I'm a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar and a huge fan of hip hop. And what happened on Wednesday was really interesting. In fact, I was inspired by that concert, by that event, to go harder in my hatred. I was like, yeah, it's good to be a hater. Being a hater pays off. It pays to be a hater. I was like, yeah, look at that. Just look at Kendrick Lamar. You know, this is what we call generational hatred. I mean, on full display, collective, communal hatred. I was like, I love this. I love the food. How I never thought hatred can be so beautiful, so inspiring. And I mean, wow, it was something else. It was really something else. And I was inspired by it. I was like, yes, this is what I need. This is what I need to see. I need to see that good old black man hatred. I need to see I need to see that. And I saw it and I was inspired by it. I was like, yeah. So after not doing a live stream since, like, the last live stream was on Friday, and today is Saturday. So how many days now? This is like 8 days. I usually do like 2 to 3 live streams in a week, and I did not do for a very long time. How many videos did I post this week? Only 2. Only 2 shots were posted this week. And after doing, I was like, nah, we need to do like Kendrick Lamar and just pop out and let people know that we are still here. We are still here, still solidly hating what we are supposed to hate and loving what we are supposed to love. Okay? There is no love. See, the relationship between love, I'm about to sound philosophical. Allow me to philosophize. Okay? There is a there is a strong relationship between love and hate. You cannot love something without hatred being involved. If you know, the fear of God, like the Bible says, the fear of God is to love good and hate evil. You have to, if you love good, you will hate evil. If you love justice, you will hate injustice. If you love life, you will hate death. So there's something about just love and hate that always, manifests itself at the same time. Or sometimes there's need for it to manifest itself at the same time. Like for Kendrick Lamar, he loved the culture of hip hop so much that when somebody is trying to turn it to something that it is not, he feels the need to defend it. And when I see what is happening in society, when I see what some elements are causing in society and what they are pushing and what they are advocating for and the effect of it, and if you love a peaceful, liberal, progressive society, you definitely are going to hate a couple of things. And I feel inspired. I feel like, I'm doing the right thing to be hating. So that's just me spending 7 minutes to talk about hatred. That's this is from Andrew Omo. He said, I'm listening. You are bold. Thank you. The truth is, when I was preparing for this live stream, we are going to talk about a couple of things. One of them is blasphemy, like blasphemy laws in Muslim countries. We are going to talk about what happened in Pakistan a few days ago. We're also going to be talking about what happened in Nigeria, in Bauchi State, a few days ago. Okay? So we're going to be talking a lot about blasphemy and, especially in Nigeria. So when I was reading about so many cases and instances of blasphemy in Nigeria, it began to make sense to me. When people say, Frank, you are bold, I'm like, oh, now I understand what they mean. This is what they are talking about, especially in Nigeria. Like, anyway, we'll look at some of the cases. We'll look at some of them. And I really appreciate those who have been able to point that out, even when I don't see myself as, even till now, I won't classify myself as someone who is brave. I'll just say I'm doing what needs to be done. It is needed. It is necessary. So I'm doing it. Chukwu Igwe said, LOL, at inspirational hatred. I'm telling you, some form of hatred will just, some display of hatred can inspire you. I'm telling you, if you watch, if you witness, if you streamed the concert, the Ken and Friends, I'm telling you, you are supposed to be inspired. Something about that concert is supposed to inspire you. You watch it and you're like, yes, it's good to hate. It is good to hate. I'm telling you, it is so good to hate. I know Christianity talks about love, okay? I'm not saying that, I'm rejecting the Christian principle of love, loving your enemies, being good to those who hate you, praying for those who despitefully use you. I'm all in favor of that, okay? And I'm not hating people, okay? My hatred is not towards people. My hatred is towards certain things, right? My hatred is towards injustice. My hatred is towards wickedness, wickedness manifesting itself in society. That's what my hatred is towards. So I'm not hating people. I'm hating things, ideas, concepts, actions, circumstances, events, okay? That is what my hatred is channeled towards. So not people, okay? And I'm not saying you guys should go out there and start hating people. Don't hate people, okay? But still, they're still going to call me whatever they're going to call me. Again, if you don't know who is listening, or who is talking rather, the person or who you are listening to, it is Frank Steven, the Nigerian prince, the Islamophobe, the bigot, the racist. From the last live stream, it was clear and glaring that I was even racist towards Nigerians, towards Africans. When I said, if you want to hide something from an African, you put it in a book. Oh, people didn't like that. People didn't like me saying that. And I was like, look, I'm joking, but of course, yes, I'm here to say in this live stream that I was not joking, okay? I meant it. When I said that Africans don't read, I meant every single African. Even I myself, I don't read. No African. It's like, do we even know how to read? We don't. So yes, in that regard, I am a racist. So, and what else? What else? What else? What else? I think I need to mention this before I move towards reviewing some of the news stories we are going to be talking about in this live stream. I need to put out a disclaimer, okay, guys. I am working on it. I've even taken active steps to work towards making sure I reduce this offense that I've been accused of committing, and I am indeed guilty of committing the offense, and that's the offense of taking the Lord's name in vain. Uh, uh, I need you people to understand that as somebody who grew up in Nigeria, it is a common thing. Nigerians in the chat can confirm this, that they're using, like, saying Jesus Christ, my God, or oh Lord, saying that a lot, like using it as an exclamation, is something that Nigerians do like 100 times in a day. Today, how many times I've even said that I can't count. Okay, it's kind of like how we talk, There's even one meme, Nigerian meme. I don't know if you remember, where somebody said, Jesus is Lord, as an exclamation. That's how we talk in Nigeria. So I am not saying it in any way to be blasphemous or to take the name of the Lord in vain. It's just a Nigerian way of talking. And maybe it qualifies as that. And moving forward, I'll try as much as possible to reduce it. Now, I'm not saying in this live stream it will not occur at all, but I'll try to be conscious about it and not be a blasphemer. Since today we are talking about blasphemy, I will not be the person to take the Lord's name in vain in this live stream, list the Christians, stone me in the chat. Okay? So yeah, that is Chukwuigwe is talking about there is God. Do people know there is God though? Hey, can you not you're from England, are you? Or are you welcoming someone else? I don't know. And welcome one of our newest moderators. Can you not? I like the username. Can you not do what? And this Elizabeth said it's not that deep. I beg. Yes, it's not. Like, exactly. It's really not that deep. Whenever I use the Lord's name in vain, it's not that deep. Whenever I use the Lord's name in vain, it is really not that deep. Okay, so guys, bear with me. And this is Gabriel from Brazil. How? Hi, I say how. Hi, Gabriel. How are you? How is Brazil? And I think I missed this super chat from Jazz. Society is activating evil demonic activities. Activating evil demonic activities. Don't mind me, I'm looking at the activating and activities, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds poetic. But I get your point. Yes, they are. And we are here to hate others. We are here to be certified haters of those. If there's any person who is like my day one, who is a subscriber, a day one subscriber to this channel, you know that the first name for this channel was not Nigerian Perspective. It was Certified Hater. Many people don't know that, but that was the first name for this channel. The name didn't last up to a week. I changed it to the Nigerian Perspective with Frank Steven. But before that, did it last up to a week? Maybe it did, but it didn't last long. I don't think I kept that name for up to a month. I changed it to the Nigerian Perspective. But before, it was Certified Hater. Maybe I even have videos that you see on the screen that used to be behind me. It is no longer there now. But on the screen behind me, you see behind it written Certified Hater. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, no, let's not go with Certified Hater. People are not going to rock with somebody who calls himself a hater. I was like, nah, let me talk about Nigerian Perspective. Let me rather change it to Nigerian Perspective. So yeah, what else can I say before we move on? That's all. And we are going to begin with the first news of today. We are going to be covering a couple of news stories about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow, we have 17 news stories. Okay, this is CNN for haters. And we have 17 news stories to go through today. Yeah, this is, I know, this is a very good friend of mine. I believe we are friends. No, not this, not you. But you are my friend too. But this is the person I was trying to highlight her chat. Debora Fernandez. She's a very good friend of mine. I believe we are friends. So hi. Hi is Portugal. Hi is everyone over there. Can you know, so when can we expect a video of your cap collection? I'm planning to expand my hat collections because I think I'm beginning to repeat them too much. I'm like, nah, I need to get new ones. Maybe one of these days I'm going to do a video. I'm going to bring all the hats together. You can see them here. I don't know here. Let me point it well. What is here are my hats. It's dark so you can't see it, but it's hats that are there. Yes. Okay, I need to also mention, please subscribe. Okay, subscribe. You have to. If you don't subscribe to this channel, that's blasphemy. Okay, and the consequence and the punishment for that is death. Okay, so if you don't want to be stoned and burnt alive, hit the subscribe button if you're not yet a subscriber, and also like. Okay, like and like and like. I just be tapping that like button. Just keep tapping it, keep tapping it, keep tapping it, keep tapping it. I'm not even paying attention to those on Instagram. Sorry, I just saw a comment from Instagram saying hating Islam, loving Jesus. Exactly, that's what I'm doing. You see, people on Instagram, they get it, they understand me. They understand me very much. It's usually not the case, but people on Instagram are like leading over those on Twitter. I see Twitter or YouTube. They're also leading over those on Twitter too. I started my Instagram and my Twitter at the same time, and I have almost 1,500. 1,500 subscribers on what is it called? Oh, not over 2,000. See, I was even counting it. I was not counting it properly. I have over 2,000 followers on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please go right now and follow me. Go and follow me quickly, okay? Quickly. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, the first thing we are going to be talking about is Sudan. Okay, Sudan. Of course, that's the image that's on the thumbnail of this live stream, and that's what we are going to be starting with. Sudan, the ethnic cleansing that is happening in Sudan, especially in west of Darfur, and that's what we are going to be starting with. Let me share my screen so we can read a couple of articles together and react to them. You tell me what you think. Also, in case you are not aware, if you have loose change, you have money if you want to spend money this evening, here's where you spend it. Okay, send me that super chat. Okay, and yeah. All right. So what are we doing? This is what we can do. So yeah, the ethnic cleansing in West Darfur of Sudan. This is from Human Rights Watch, and I think this website is one of those international organizations that have links with the UN and whatever. And according to this article, attacks by the Rapid Support Forces and allied militia in El Geneina, capital of Sudan's West Darfur state, killed at least thousands. It's funny how they say killed at least thousands. If you want to say killed at least, I thought you mentioned a specific number, not at least thousands. Let's say killed at least 1,000 or killed at least 9,000. But these days, I don't know who people writing these articles, but that's what they said. Killed at least thousands of people and left hundreds of thousands as refugees, committing serious violations that targeted the Masalit people and other non-Arab communities with the apparent objective of at least having them permanently leave the region and constitutes ethnic cleansing. Okay, so what is happening in Darfur is that there are two forces. There's the government of Sudan, and then there is the Rapid Support Forces, which is like a military group, a militia group that has the backing of certain Arab countries, right? Not just Muslim countries. They, from this article and from every other article I've read on this matter, emphasis is being placed on Arab than Muslim. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, I'm not going to say that this is a Muslim versus non-Muslim conflict. Okay, it's an Arab versus non-Arab conflict, or at least that's how it is being reported. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know enough to come to the conclusion, or I've not seen enough from what I've read on this issue to come to the conclusion that it is between Muslim and non-Muslim, because Sudan has a significant population, Muslim population, okay, black Muslim population, significant black Muslim population exists in Sudan. But this seems to be an Arab versus non-Arab conflict. That's what is happening in west of Darfur. Okay, the United Nations and African Union should urgently, this is the recommendation from the Human Rights Watch. The United Nations and African Union should urgently impose an arms embargo on Sudan, sanction those responsible for serious crimes, and deploy a mission to protect civilians. That's the recommendation. Now, reporting from Nairobi on the 9th of May, the Human Rights Watch states that attacks by the Rapid Support Forces and allied militia in this region, the capital city of Sudan's West Darfur state, from April to November 2023, killed at least thousands of people. Why do they keep using this at least thousands? Give a specific number of thousands. And is it just me? Am I being pedantic? Is that the word? Killed at least thousands of people and left hundreds of thousands as refugees. Human Rights Watch said in a report released today, the crime against humanity and widespread war crimes were committed in the context of an ethnic cleansing campaign against the ethnic Masalit and other non-Arab population in and around this area. The 218-page report titled "This" documents that the Rapid Support Forces, an independent military force in armed conflict with the Sudan military and their allied mainly Arab militias, including the Third Front, this group and an armed group, targets the predominantly Masalit neighborhood of this region in relentless wave of attack from April to June. Abuses escalated again in early November. The attackers committed other serious abuses such as torture, rape, and looting. More than 500,000 refugees from West Darfur have fled to Chad since April 2023. As of late October 2023, 75% we are from, that's 75% of people who were displaced, the refugees, we are from this region, which is El Geneina. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. As the UN Secretary Council and government woke up to the looming disaster in El Fasher. Why are they called El? Is that colonial naming? I'm not. That's interesting. Okay, as the UN Security Council and government wake up to the looming disaster in El Fasher, the larger scale atrocity committed in El Geneina should be seen as a reminder of the atrocities that could come in the absence of concerted efforts, says this person, Executive Director of Human Rights Watch. Governments, the African Union, and the United Nations need to act now to protect civilians, targeting the Masalit people and other non-Arab communities by committing serious violations against them with the apparent objective of at least having them permanently leave the region, constitute ethnic cleansing. It does. The particular context in which these widespread killings took place also raises the possibility that the RSF and their allies had the intent to destroy in whole or in part the Masalit in at least West Darfur. And that's what constitutes genocide. Of course, in fact, without me saying it, when I just read this, I was like, yeah, this is genocide. Okay. When you make this statement, the particular context in which this widespread killing took place also raises the possibility that the SRF and their allies have the intent to destroy in whole or in part. They have the intent, which is important when you're talking about genocide, right? The intent. And according to Human Rights Watch, there seem to be an intent or the possibility of an intent to destroy in whole or in part the Masalit in at least West Darfur, which would indicate that genocide has been and or is being committed there, Within June 2023 and April 2024, the Human Rights Watch interviewed more than 220 people in Chad, Uganda, Kenya, and South Sudan, as well as remotely, that's remotely within the region, I guess. Researchers also reviewed and analyzed over 120 photos and videos of the event, satellite imagery, and documents shared by humanitarian organizations to corroborate accounts of grave abuses. The violence in El Geneina began 9 days after the fighting broke out in I don't know how to pronounce this place, the capital of Sudan, between the Sudanese armed forces, SAF, Sudan's military, and the RSF. On the Monday of April 24, the RSF clashed with a Sudanese military convoy traveling through El Geneina. Then the RSF and its allied group attacked majority Musalit neighborhoods, clashing with predominantly Musalit armed groups defending their communities. Over the following week, and even after Musalit armed group lost control of their neighborhoods, the RSF and allied militia systematically targeted unarmed civilians. I mean, this is textbook everything that people are accusing Jews of doing or Israel of doing in Gaza. This is there is documents to support this. There is video evidence to support this, and this has been going on since April of right. No. This has been going on since June of 2023. It has been going on since June. Okay, after they fought the Masalit armed groups that were controlling the neighborhoods, they still went on to target individuals or unarmed civilians. The violence culminated in a large-scale massacre on June 15, when the RSF and its allies opened fire on a kilometer-long convoy of civilians desperately trying to flee, escorted by Masalit fighters. The RSF and militia pursued, rounded up, and shot men, women, and children who ran through the streets or tried to swim across the fast-flowing Kanja River. Many drowned. Wow. I need to read this again. The violence culminated in a large-scale massacre on June 15, when the RSF and its allies opened fire on a kilometer-long convoy of civilians desperately trying to flee, escorted by Masalit fighters. The RSF and militias pursued, rounded up, and shot men, women, and children who ran through the streets or tried to swim across the fast-flowing Kanja River, and many drowned. Older people and injured people were not spared. Wow. A 17-year-old boy described the killing of 12 children and 5 adults from several families. According to this 17-year-old boy, 2 RSF forces grabbed the children from their parents, and as the parents started screaming, 2 other RSF forces shot the parents, killing them. Then they piled up the children and shot them. Wow. Let me read it again. A 17-year-old boy described the killing of 12 children and 5 adults from several families. 2 RSF forces, that's members of these forces, grabbed the children from their parents, and as the parents started screaming, 2 other RSF forces shot the parents, killing them. Then they piled up the children and shot them. They threw their bodies into the river and their belongings in after them. Wow. That day and in subsequent days, the attacks continue on tens of thousands of civilians who tried to cross into Chad, leaving the countryside strewed with bodies. Videos published at the time show crowd of civilians running for their lives on the road linking El Geneina to Chad. Okay, we are reading, guys. Human Rights Watch also documented the killing of Arab residents and the looting of Arab neighborhoods by Masalit forces. The Sudan Armed Forces use of explosive weapons in populated areas in ways that cause unnecessary harm to civilian objects. The RSF and allied militia escalated their abuse again in November, targeting Masalit people who had found refuge in the El Genena suburb of Adamata, rounding up Masalit men and boys, and according to the UN, killing at least 1,000 people. During the course of these abuses, women and girls were raped and subjected to other forms of sexual violence, and detainees were tortured and otherwise ill-treated. The attackers methodically destroyed critical civilian infrastructure, targeting neighborhoods and sites, including schools, in primarily Masalit displaced communities. They looted on a grand scale and burnt, shelled, and razed neighborhoods to the ground after emptying them of residents. These attacks were committed as part of a widespread and systemic attack directed against the Masalit and other non-Arab civilian population of Masalit majority neighborhoods, and as such also constitutes the crime against humanity of murder, torture, prosecution, and forcible transfer of the civilian population, Human Rights Watch said. The possibility that genocide has been or is being committed in Darfur requires urgent action from all governments and international institutions to protect civilians. They should ensure investigation as to whether the facts demonstrate a specific intent on the part of the RSF leadership and its allies to destroy in whole or in part the Masalit and other non-Arab ethnic communities in West Darfur, that is, to commit genocide. If so, they should act to prevent further perpetration and to ensure those responsible for its planning and conduct are brought to justice. The global community should support the investigations of the International Criminal Court. Okay, they should leave Netanyahu for a moment and focus on this, right? Why state party to the court should ensure it has the financial resources needed in its regular budget to carry out its mandate in Darfur and across its dockets. Human Rights Watch identified the commander of the RSF, Mohammed, I think this is his like nickname, Hamda Dagalo, his brother Abdel Rahim Hamda Dagalo, and the West Darfur RSF commander Jomaha Barakala as those with command responsibility over the forces that carried out these crimes. The Human Rights Watch also named RSF allies, including a commander of the Tumazuj armed groups and 2 Arab tribal leaders, as bearing responsibility for fighters that committed serious crimes. I mean, this. I need a moment. Sorry, guys. I need a moment. This is. Somebody said anyone with the name Muhammad. Yeah, people who bear Muhammad can be. Let me not be the guy to say. I want to keep saying, even though we all know, by now we all know the people that are responsible and why they are trying to. Let me do a quick search. Just let me do a quick search to know for a fact if the Masalit people are predominantly Muslims. Masalit religion. Okay, according to this, they are Muslims. The Masalit began converting to Islam during the 1600s, and today they are completely Muslim. Islam is the major world religion that is based on. Okay, just keep quiet. So they are completely Muslims. The Masalit tradition traced their origin to Tunisia after migrating through Chad. They eventually settled in present-day Sudan. So this is a Muslim on Muslim crime. My God. Sorry, guys. I just did it. I just realized that I did it. Okay. I just realized that I did it. I just said, my God. But guys, isn't it warranted? I mean, why? When you look at something like this, what else do you want to say? Like piling children on top of each other, shooting them, throwing their bodies into the river, rounding up thousands of people and killing them systematically, trying to drive them out of their homes. You know, for what reason? Other than something that seems to be ethnic. You know, people always talk about people always talk about uh, white supremacy, right? The West is obsessed with white supremacy, and they're trying to find white supremacists. And of course, yes, there are some white supremacists in the West. I mean, Nick Fuentes is still a human being, a person, and the embodiment of white supremacy. I mean, that is what it is. But white supremacy is not a major issue in the West as much as Arab supremacy, right, is an issue in Sudan and other countries, neighboring countries. This is Arab supremacy. These are Arab groups trying to eradicate native non-Arab communities in Sudan. Interesting. You know, and you have to start asking yourself, like, what is the religious difference? Are they Shias? Why? And I'll be honest with you, it's not like uh, I'm saying this has everything to do with Islam or anything. I've not said it, because these are Muslims killing Muslims, right? Uh, but this has something. I mean, from all indication, this has something to do with Arab versus non-Arab, and there's this Arab supremacy that cannot be overlooked in how these people are being treated. I don't know if I think I did, but let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. We are okay. We are almost there. We are almost there. Where did I stop? Okay, the United Nations, in coordination with African Union, should urgently deploy a new mission to protect civilians at risk in Sudan. The Security Council should impose targeted sanctions on those responsible for serious crimes in West Darfur, and individuals and companies that have and are violating the arm embargo. It should widen the existing arm embargo on Darfur to cover all of Sudan. The global inaction in the face of atrocities of this magnitude is inexcusable. It is. Government should ensure those responsible are held to account, including through targeted sanctions and by stepping up cooperation with the ICC. And something else that is not mentioned here is that many of these groups, especially the RSF, they are getting backing from groups in Yemen and other Arab countries. Is really the definition of an ethnic conflict, because you have Arab groups even in the Middle East supporting the RSF or funding the RSF, and yeah. So that is the news about what is happening in Darfur. That is what is happening in West Darfur, and it is really tragic. My God, this. Sorry, guys, I've said it again. My God, I've said it. But this is really, really tragic. I really cannot. I really cannot. I really cannot wrap my head around something like this, and why people would do something like this, and why people would do something like this to others. I really cannot understand this. This is a conflict that I cannot understand. Like, of course, I can read it and I understand the grammar. I mean, it's written in English. I can translate it, but understanding it in, like, why the ethnic cleansing? Why why? I mean, let me not say much. Let me just leave it at this. I mean, that's the news, guys. That's the first news from the hater. Okay, first news story. And let me read some super chats before we continue. Uh, this is from Mubarak. Love your content, Frank. Can you please do an in-depth episode about the aggressive push towards the Arabization of African people? For example, in Sudan, we are Black Africans, but a lot of Sudanese believe that they are Arabs. Yes, definitely. Those are the ones that are conducting the. Those are the ones, especially in the army of the RSF and their allies. Okay, there's this belief from something I read. I can't remember where I read it. That I don't know. I think I thought I had this as one of the articles we are going to look through. but I don't think it's there. There was something where I read how the Arab population in Sudan, how they see the non-Arab population and how they look on them and the words with which they used to describe them. Kind of there's this condescending look on the non-Arab population by the Arab population. So it's glaring that the Arab population does not like or look down on the non-Arab, population, and I think the is exemplified or manifested rather in the way they are treated, like the way they are attacked and killed. I mean, when you pile the children of you pile children, okay, and you shoot them, 12 children, right? You pile them up, and then you shoot them and you throw their bodies into the river. These are children, how old are they? How old are these children? We don't even know. But their children, we will assume that they're not more than 15, right? You pile these children together and you shoot them. These are civilians. They are not armed. Nothing. They are trying to flee, right? You attack their community. They are trying to flee. You go to the road where they are fleeing. Okay. You find children fleeing and you capture them. You kill them and then you throw their body and their belongings into the river. That is clear hatred, okay? The kind that I'm not capable of having, despite how much I don't like certain elements, okay? And despite the accusations that have been levied against me, I still cannot imagine myself having such a level of hatred. Eh? And I was inspired by Ken and Friends. Yet that inspiration did not, man. This is the, okay, first, guys, this is not the kind of hatred that inspires, okay? This is the kind of hatred that is just repulsive. You're like, God, I did it again. I know. I've left Jesus Christ and now I'm on God. You guys will have to bear with me. I'm telling you, you will have to bear with me. And this is from Gabriel. And since this person is from, I think, Mexico, I think it will be Gabrielle. She said, or he said, how are the Christians in Nigeria? How are the Christians in Nigeria dealing with the peaceful religion fandom? Can Christians in the West help? Well, yeah, I think, before I used to feel like this, but I think if the pressure that if the amount of pressure that the West have placed on their leaders with regards to what is happening in Gaza, for example, if that level of pressure can be mounted, upon people who have a say in the international community, countries, the United States, France, those who are members of the Security Council in the UN, okay, and also pressure can be mounted on the African Union, even though the African Union is like a toothless bulldog. I don't even know what they are capable of doing, But if pressure can be mounted on leaders in this international in the international arena to do something about this, because the way I see what is happening in Sudan, it reminds me of what happened in Rwanda and how it wasn't an issue until it was almost over. And then the international community was like, hey, there was a genocide here. Millions were killed. Wow. And I feel that's the same thing that is happening in Sudan. And it's even happening for a long period. And everybody's like, yeah, let's focus on Gaza instead. And by the time people are going to focus their attention on what is happening in Sudan, millions will have been dead. And the one thing that can be done, people who live in the West who have enough time, which is something I keep saying, if you have enough time, okay, I'm not one to tell people to care about certain things, because every human being has so many things that they are worried about, they are concerned about. You have your own life to live. You have so many things in your life that bothers you, right? So I will understand if you're like, look, I have so many things going on in my life to even care about something like this. It's a fair. I won't hold you for that. But if you have time, please, look up some of these things, get yourself informed about it, and please try and put pressure on, leaders you have privy to that can do something about this. Obviously, the African Union will do not. I don't think the African Union can do anything about this. They will convene, they will do whatever meeting they want to do, talk about it, and maybe some Nigerian soldiers will go for peace mission sometime in the future. Maybe it will happen, but there needs to be that pressure that like the international community need to be pressured to do something, and people need to like this needs to become, you know, something that everyone is talking about. You know, it's the possibility of that happening. Sometimes I think of the solution to certain problems. I'm like, okay, this is the solution, or this is something that can be done, and then I feel, can it be done? You know, at the same time, I know if pressure is mounted, if people from different countries, just like college students are mounting pressure on their leaders with regards to what's happening in Gaza, if the same pressure can be mounted with regards to what's happening in Sudan, I know something is going to change, and it's going to change quickly. Can it happen though? I don't know. That's where the pessimism that I often possess starts kicking in. You know, but I believe that this is a step towards, you know, creating that awareness and letting people know, look, this is what is happening in places like Sudan, okay, and it has been happening for a long period, and a lot of people have lost their lives. Some people have been displaced, become refugees in places like Chad. Look, it's one thing to be a refugee in the UK, okay? It's one thing to be a refugee in the UK. It's one thing to be a refugee in Germany, right? It's another thing to be a refugee in Chad. Africans know what I'm talking about. They understand what I just said. It's another thing to be a refugee in Chad, and I mean there are levels to this. So imagine people having to live there, and now they are taking refuge in Chad. This is. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. Serif, thank you for the super sticker. This is again from Mubarak. Uh, he said are et, four tribes are ethnically black. We became Muslims long time ago, but refused to be Arabized. This started long time ago, but reached its peak in 2003, and now they are picking up where they left. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's what I've read here. You know, and I want to in the future do something to really like let's go through the timeline of what has been happening in Sudan. You know, because Sudan has been somewhere that has been like a hot spot for serious, you know, conflict, armed conflicts, especially in Africa. Like when you consider Africa, when you look at various, of course, there are many conflicts that have been going on in Africa, different countries, but Sudan is one place that has been like a hot zone for this kind of conflict. And Mubarak, you sound like somebody who has more information than I do about this. If you can tell me, because there's something there's a question that is on my mind right now. You can tell me in the chat. If I see it, I'll highlight it. If you can tell me something about why the Arabs want to Arabize the area. What is the push to Arab? And by Arabize, do you mean ethnically cleanse the Mosalit and other non-Arab tribes in Sudan? Is that the goal? And what do you think is the reason for this? Why this Arabization? If you can, because I really want to know the motive behind this. It's kind of something I really want to know the motive behind it. Why? Because these are two Muslim groups fighting, and I want to know why. Why is there a push for Arabization of it is also something that I find interesting. Okay, like there's the there's the Arabization of Egypt, for example, right? And just coming down from Egypt, you have Sudan, right? Uh, so is it like a continuation of that? And why is that? I mean, this is 2024. People still, I mean, of course, I know the Arab world is kind of like backwards, right? In the way they do things and the way they are really they have this backward mentality. They are doing the same thing in Mali, right? They're doing the same thing in Mali, doing the same thing in Burkina Faso. ISIS is like, I mean, their campaign in Burkina Faso is being successful. It's going great. Okay. Uh Let me see. Has Mubarak said anything? He said this. Okay, they see Sudan as the gateway to Africa. Okay, so what you're saying is that this is a move to Arabize the entire Africa. That's that's interesting. I know that this is an effort to colonize the region. This is colonialism. This is what it is. you know, when we talk about, European, and this is settler colonialism, where you're trying to exterminate the local population and assert yourself in that region. That is what is going on. Okay, that is essentially what is going on here. The people that are accused of colonialism these days, and yet there are clear instances of this in Africa, especially in places like Sudan, and nobody's talking about it. I believe Mubarak is agreeing with me. We are one in this. There is agreement. Sorry, I have highlighted a chart that I didn't intend to highlight. And this is from Jai. What do you think about countries supporting these terrorists? What will they do when it happens with their citizens? Like Yemen? What will happen if Yemen, these are Arabs. Countries that are supporting this are Arab countries, and this is the problem with Arabs, right? The Arabs don't have issue with like wiping out an ethnic population. It's nothing to them. They've been doing it in Africa. They've been doing it. They do it in Somalia. They're trying to do it in Mali. They're trying to do it in Burkina Faso, right? They're even trying to do it in northern Nigeria. They're trying to do that, right? They have no issue with Arabizing areas and countries and regions. Still doing it in 2025. They're not doing it peacefully. They are doing this. We're talking about armed conflicts here. We're talking about people, children being killed here, right? That's what we are talking about. They have no issue with doing that, even doing that in the 21st century. But Palestine is where they're like, oh my God, they are killing us. Look, settlers, blah blah blah. This, that. I'm like, come on. Just that's why when they said, when Arabs are like, it's colonialism. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. You don't care. It has never bothered you. Okay? Wiping out ethnic population has never been anything to you guys. That's never bothered you people. That's what you're even trying to do to the Jews in Israel. It has never bothered you guys. Never. Don't give me that colonialism or this. Like really, this is if it is indeed true that's what the Jews are trying to do to the Arab the Palestinians, the Arabs in Gaza and in the West Bank who refuse to be part of Israel, peaceful part of Israel. If that is indeed what Israel is trying to do to these people, I'm like, look, I know I'm not for killing of killing of women and children, right? And innocent people, okay? I'm not for transferring the sin of one person to another. But all of you, or most of you, have this mentality, this Arab supremacist mentality. All of you have it. Like, it's one thing I feel it needs to become something that we talk about often, okay? Arab supremacy. And how deadly it is, because it is deadly. It is a deadly idea. It is a deadly way of looking at the world, and it is deadly. How it manifests itself is very, very deadly. And then these people want to talk about, hey, look, these people are colonizing us. I'm like, please, when has it ever bothered you people? When has it ever bothered? Anyway, so let's move on to another news story before we spend so much time. And we move to Pakistan, okay? My favorite place in the world. This is the place that I intend to visit one day, like the tourists who visited the place, okay? Just go around, see how much I will be welcomed, experience real peace. That's what I intend to do when I go to a place like Pakistan. I want to experience real peace, because that's like, for me, it's not Saudi Arabia. It's not even Iran, okay? The real headquarters of Islamic peace is Pakistan. And you can't tell me otherwise. You can't. Prove to me that Pakistan is not the headquarters of Islamic peace. How do you prove that? How do you prove a negative? Anyways, so here's the news story. Tourist accused of blasphemy killed by a mob in Pakistan. A tourist has been dragged from a police station and killed by a mob in northwest Pakistan after being accused of blasphemy. The police had been attempting to protect the man from the large group in the town of the town in this. Wow. Okay, the mob had gathered after the man was accused of desecrating the Quran. We know what the Quran is. We did that, or he was accused of doing that on Thursday. Lynching are not uncommon after an accusation of blasphemy, which is punishable by death in Pakistan. A Christian man was attacked last month after being accused of burning pages of the Quran, dying shortly afterwards. Video of this latest incident has prompted outrage on social media in Pakistan. Footage showed the man's body being paraded through the street and then set alight. Sorry. Police confirmed that the tourist had been touched and some 11 people were injured in the incident. Malacca Division's Regional Police Chief, Mohammed Ali, accused the local mosque of encouraging people to gather after police first rescued the man, who was reportedly visiting from the Swat Valley, a popular destination in the summer. He told Reuters news agency that 8 officers were among the injured. This person, a police officer in the Swat region, told BBC that Urdu police made a concerted effort to clear blockade roads to disperse the angry crowds of people on Thursday night. Police said they opened a case against hundreds of people involved in the incident, some as young as 13. Alhamdulillah. 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 Police said they have opened a case against hundreds of people involved in this incident, some as young as 13. Imagine you're 13-year-old, you're a 13-year-old, and you are involved in lynching, in public lynching. Local authorities have since deployed additional security forces to the region. According to BBC Urdu, hotels in the town have been full, but tourists were now scrambling to leave. I mean, why are they leaving? So much peace and you are leaving. There's so much peace in the air. Peace, love, tolerance, kindness. You know, all the virtues that Muhammad and co, extol and brought into the Middle East. Why? This is in the air. I can feel it. You know, when you smell the burnt body of that tourist, you can feel the peace in the air. You can inhale it. You know, according to BBC Urdu, hotels in the town had been full, but tourists were now scrambling to leave. Region-fueled violence in Pakistan has risen since the country made blasphemy a crime. See, look at even the BBC. Jesus, I'm sorry. Alhamdulillah. Look at what the BBC wrote. This is the BBC, British Broadcasting, whatever it is called. Regional fueled violence in Pakistan has risen since the country made blasphemy made. What is this maid doing there? Who is editing this article? Somebody needs to get fired. What's this? Anyway, regional fueled violence in Pakistan has risen since the country made blasphemy a crime under a 19th century law brought in by the British, punishable by death. Oh yeah, of course. It was a 19th century law brought in by the British. Give me a break. Oh God. Sorry, guys, you have to bear with me. You have to bear with me. With this, my oh God, and all the blasphemy that we are talking about blasphemy, okay? So forgive me if I become blasphemous. What do they mean by 19th century law brought in by the British? So the blasphemy law in Pakistan was brought in by the British. Yes, it was the British that said, if somebody burns the Quran, set that person on fire. That was the British law that was introduced in Pakistan. Okay, I want to know something. It is correct that Pakistan was once part of India, right? Before, Pakistan is one of the innovative, wonderful creation of the British, right? One of their excellent creations was Pakistan, right? And what year was Pakistan created? Let me not misspeak. (1947), just to be sure. Pakistan was created in 1947. It's not that old. I know people that are older than Pakistan. People used to say that about Israel. I am older than Israel. Well, I know people that are older than Pakistan too. So Pakistan was created in 1947, right? And if this 19th century law brought in by the British would have been brought in when, you know, India was still under the British, right? So how come this law does not exist in India? How come this law does this punishable by death, this of blasphemy being punishable by death? Why is it not applicable in India? Why is it only applicable in Pakistan? Let me, maybe it is, guys. Let me not misspeak. Let's check. Is blasphemy is blasphemy punishable by death in India? Oh, there's no conclusive. Is it countries where we keep talking about Pakistan? I'm talking about India, guys. India is what I'm talking about, not Pakistan. Okay, yeah, they are still talking about Pakistan. You know, it's just like when you ask this question when you ask Google this question, they're like, yeah, Pakistan was once part of India. Yeah, let's bring Pakistan. I'm talking about India. Is there any person from India? Can you? Oh, this is according to Dr. Nono. It says section 275A of the Indian Penal Code. Let me see. Section 295A. 295A of what? Of Indian Penal Code. Section of Indian Penal lays down the punishment for the deliberate and malicious acts that are intended to outrage religious feelings of any class by insulting its religion or religious group. It is one of the hate speech laws in India. The law prohibits. But what's the punishment? Okay, legal experts they believe that lays down. Okay, what is the punishment that it lays down? Is the punishment death? Those from Pakistan, let me know. I mean, those in India, let me know. Is the punishment death? That's all I want to know. Is it death? Is the punishment death? I'm not seeing anyone. Let me see. Explain the need for a distinction between blasphemy and hate speech. What is the history of section 275A of the Indian Penal Code? How should blasphemy be treated in the statute as opposed to hate speech? Story so far. While the law in India goes, there is a legislation against blasphemy. The closest equivalent to blasphemy law is which punish any speech writing. Okay. Up to 3 years in prison. 3 years. 3 years imprisonment. That's not death sentence. That's not a death sentence. That's not a death sentence. Like we have, that's what they wrote here, although it's kind of faded. You know, insulting citizens' religion or religious belief with you know, with malicious, and we come with a fine or the imprisonment for up to 3 years. This is India. That is not like what is obtainable in Pakistan. Or am I missing something? Mizrahi Chick said, please invite Musab Hassan Yusuf, son of Hamas, former Hamas and Christian, to discuss this horror endured around the world. He can be disagreed with. Israel is the scapegoat hiding the lies. You think it's possible for me to invite Musab Hassan Yusuf to my channel? You think it's possible? I like how you guys rate my channel. You guys see my channel as this big channel that can get any guest. I like the rating. Okay, I like that. Thank you. But really, you think it's possible? Anyway, there's no harm in trying. Yeah, that's what the article. Okay, not sorry, not Shane. Not. I'm trying to highlight Dr. Nuno. That's what the article say. 1 to 3 years. That's what the article say. Or according to this article, Section 295A says 1 to 3 years. So it is not similar to what we have in Pakistan. And both countries, or they were once just one country, and that one country all inherited the 19th century law brought to them by the British. But in one, death is the punishment, and in the other, just 3 years is the punishment. Now, I'm not saying that India is better and people should be punished for blasphemy. I think no, even no matter the religion that you offend, you shouldn't be imprisoned for that or anything like that. I believe it goes against people's freedom of speech, right? But then you have to take into consideration the fact that absolute the level of free speech that you have in a place like the United States is not even the same with what you find in the UK or in Germany. Okay, free speech as you have in the US is not obtainable in many European countries. Talk more of a place like India or even Nigeria, right? So that is understandable to an extent. But Pakistan is the extreme of this spectrum, okay? This is the extreme, and it's not just Pakistan. We all know it's not just Pakistan. Even northern Nigerian states, which we are going to come to, okay? We are going to come to Nigeria, guys. But my issue with this article is that the writer of this article could not help but somehow find a way to blame the blasphemy law in Pakistan, to find a way to blame it on 19th century British law. They just could not help themselves. Like, how do we find a way to make it look like it is not really the fault of these people that this law exists? Throughout this article, it was not mentioned, Islam was not mentioned, that this has something to do with what Sharia law requires for those who blaspheme, was not mentioned. Okay, what was mentioned was the British somehow they were responsible. They have, even though it is no matter how faint, there's this faint responsibility that the British should hold for what is happening in Pakistan today. And I agree to an extent, because if they did not create the state of Pakistan, maybe this would not exist. Even unfounded accusation can incite protest and mob violence against alleged perpetrators. Human rights critics have long argued that minorities are often the target of accusations. Around 96% of Pakistan's population is Muslim. Other countries, including Iran, Brunei, and Mauritania, also impose capital punishment for insulting religion. Not just insulting religion. Let's be specific. Insulting Islam, insulting the Prophet, insulting, the one true God, which is Allah, of course. Insulting religion. We know what religion you are referring to. You think somebody is going to die in Brunei, or die in Iran, or die in Pakistan if they insulted Jesus, or say something like Jesus is not the Christ, which is also blasphemy, okay? Which is something that Muslims believe and profess proudly, and nobody is going to do anything against them. So please, let us be clear. It's Islam we're talking about. It's Allah, it's His Prophet, it's the rightly guarded Caliph, it's the Quran. If you say something about any of these things, you are guilty of blasphemy, and the punishment is death. And that is why this law exists. It has nothing to do with the British. BBC, it has nothing to do with the British. As in every opportunity these people find, they will use it to guilt trip British people. It's like that's the job of the BBC, right? Any opportunity we have to make the British feel guilty for once being a colonial power, we will not miss that opportunity. That is what we exist to do. And just so that we can get a better reporting of of what happened, here is the Twitter post of Faraz Pervaz, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm definitely butchering it. Bear with me. He usually reports on issues like this on Twitter. And this is what he has to say about what happened. He said, this is the person, this guy. You can see his face. Let's play the video. Let's so people can see his face. His wonderful face. I don't want it to. I want the other. Just so you can see the face of. This is not the guy who was accused. This was the guy who made the accusation. You can see his wonderful, peaceful face, as he explains what happened. But yes, he wasn't speaking English, so here's like a brief summary of what he was saying. So according to this post, it said this is the person who accused Muhammad Ismail of blasphemy, of blaspheming the Quran. This person has no evidence that Ismail burnt the Quran. It seems from his word that there was personal tension between them. Can you believe that a man comes from this region and burns the Quran inside the hotel room where he's staying in Swat Madin? What would be the benefit of burning the Quran in a closed room? Did he make a video? No. Did anyone see him burning it? No. What would be the benefit of burning the Quran again in a closed room? Hasn't it occurred to anyone to ask if he really did this or if the hotelier are making false accusations? The man has been burnt. Who burnt him? Who made the announcements in the mosque? Who incited the people by placing a speaker in the car? There is no clue. All there is clue is the Islamists, the extremists, or people who I like to call the good Muslims, okay? People who are passionate for the cause of Allah, people who are ready to fight in the way of Allah, people who are ready to put their faith on full display, okay? They are the ones who did this, right? They are the ones who are like, no, we are filled with passion for the one true God, and we will not stand anyone, the imagination, just the thoughts, just the imagination that someone may have, possibly, probably, there is a 9% probability that he may have, might have, could have, sort of had burnt the Quran in his hotel. Now that something like that is out there, we who are really passionate about our devotion to the one true God, we have to announce in the mosque that, see, this person is already guilty. Alhamdulillah, right? He's already guilty. We have to run to the hotel right now and try, or run to the police station where the person is being held, drag the person out, and kill the person. Parade the person's body, round the street, because that's what is going to make, Allah really happy about us. While we are languishing in poverty, by the way. In fact, the parent of the family member of the person who was killed have denounced this person, like without evidence of what he did. The family, this is the mother of the man who was accused. The mother is here in this video. Her child, no evidence, and see, according to the family of the person who was killed has also announced their denounce. Has also announced that they have denounced him. They are denounced from him. What kind of Jesus Christ? Sorry. Their mother has said in a video statement that her son has no contact with his family for 1.5 years. The mother said in the video message that her husband died 30 years ago after returning from abroad. We got him married, but he continued to fight with us, after which we gave him his share of the property and broke off the relationship. Family is compelled by fear to give statements, save their skin from radical Islamists. Of course, that's what is going on here. Now that the whole mob is against you, I mean, think about it, man. Think about it. Your whole family, the whole community is against you, and even your family is pressured to also be against you, because the last thing they want to do is to be associated with you. This is the religion of peace, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you find in the capital of Islamic peace, Pakistan, the place where you are surely going to find true peace, which is you resting in peace, of course. So yeah, there are also other things that were mentioned. And one other thing I want to read here is an article from the Vatican News. And they're talking about what is happening in Pakistan. And this is what they have to say. They said Christians in Pakistan have taken to the streets across I think this was written, this is not something that happened recently. Okay, this is not something that happened recently. It's something that happened like a few days ago, or a few months ago, a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. I'm trying to see the date that this was published, but it's not. I have to go down, I guess. Well, this was 28th of May 2024. I think this was in response to a pastor that was accused of burning the Quran or something like that and was killed in Pakistan. I think this is kind of what this article is about. Okay, Christians in Pakistan have taken to the street across the Muslim majority nation following yet another mob attack over false blasphemy accusation in the central Punjab province. UCA news agency reported that from this city to this city, Christians gathered in large number this weekend to protest the attack on two houses and a shoe factory owned by a Christian family in this district of Punjab. The Christian factory owner and his son were accused of having burnt pages of the Quran in their garbage in the resident area of Giwala, whatever colony of this place. They did that last week, and we are attacked by over 400 men with batons, bricks, and stones, ransacking and burning their shops and homes. Although 12 members of the family were able to escape, Mr. Masil has been badly beaten and severely injured before police arrived and managed to remove him from the mob. He was rushed to the hospital in a critical condition. His son was also reportedly beaten, and according to Pontifical Foundation Aid to the Church in Need, ACN, ransacking and fires continued after the attack, posing a grave threat to the safety and well-being of the local Christian community. The Minorities Alliance Pakistan, MAP, also known as Minor Attracted Persons, demanded punishment for the perpetrators of violence. For its part, ACN has joined in strongly condemning the incident and has expressed its solidarity with the affected family and the whole Christian community in Pakistan. The police, meanwhile, has registered cases against 450 unknown persons under an anti-terrorism law, and 25 persons have been arrested in connection with the attack. And let me guess, those people will be released very soon. They do it in Nigeria. After something like this, they arrest certain people and they are released. At the demonstration in this place, Christians declared May 25 as a Black Day, and more than 500 protesters at this district in Punjab blocked traffic for 2 hours, and two women burnt their headscarf in protest. A Catholic political leader and head of the MAP said, okay, that's a report from this person. In Karachi, Christians protested at the press club demanding the dismissal of senior police officers. Video footage of the mob attack showed policemen doing nothing. However, the police have denied the claim. Of course, why would they not deny the claim? According to UCA News, why is UCA not in all caps? Why is only the U? Anyway, according to the UCA, this district administration has banned rallies and imposed Section 144, a colonial era law that banned public gatherings till the 31st of May. Additional police have been deployed to maintain law and order. Father David John, parish priest of Divine Mercy Catholic Church in Mujahid Colony, where the mob attack took place, said the situation is under control now. Only a few families have returned through, though police have assured us of protection, the priest added. Blasphemy has been a capital crime in Pakistan since 1981, though no one has been executed by the government. Yes? Because no one needs to be executed by the government when you have a mob ready to do it for them. However, in several cases, mob take the matters into their own hands and lynch the suspects. The draconian law introduced by the military government of General so and so is often misused for false accusation against Christians and other religious minorities to settle personal scores. This is something that Pakistan is known for. Okay, it's something that is common in Pakistan, where you have a personal dispute with somebody who is not a Muslim, or even somebody who is a Muslim sometimes, as is the case with what's the name of the person that was just as in the case of the man who was lynched recently. He happens to be a Muslim, so he's not even a minority guy. That's why his family had to disown him, right? As is even the case here. It doesn't matter that he's a Muslim or a non-Muslim. They will just when you have personal issue with somebody, or you have a private dispute and you're angry, you're a Muslim, just accuse the other person of blasphemy. And it's even more effective if the person you're accusing is not a Muslim. What you get in places like Pakistan, also in northern Nigeria, what you get when you do that is that before the mob will even ask what is going on, kerosene is already, the smell of kerosene is or fuel Do people in the West know what kerosene is? Gasoline. People should know what kerosene is. It's already, you can already smell kerosene, which is like that smell of peace. It's already in the air. Before you know, somebody's body is being roasted. Uh, Blasphemy has been a capital punishment in Pakistan since 1981, though no one has been executed by the government. However, in severe cases, in several cases, mobs take the matter into their own hands and lynch the suspect. And the draconian law by this person has made it okay. In the attack in this district, the attack in this district just over 9 months after the riots in this area, in this district of Punjab, that was sparked on the 16th of August 2023 by another false accusation of blasphemy, when rumors began to spread that a man and his son had disrespected the Quran by placing their photograph on his page. Wait, so if you place your photograph on the pages of the Quran, that is blasphemy. Wow. 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 I was on an Instagram live earlier this week, and I was saying it in the Instagram live that one thing about blasphemy is that it is unclear what constitutes blasphemy. That's something. It is unclear. Anything can constitute blasphemy. If I'm drinking my water right now, and there is a Quran here, and I spill this water on the Quran, you can't. That. Sorry, look, that's disrespectful. He just disrespected the Quran, and I'll be accused of blasphemy. You know. Before we move on, let me see what some people are saying in the chat. This is from Mesrahi Chick. There are a billion Hindus that support Israel and cry against what is happening in Africa. We just need to continue growing the network of those affected until it is a roar of voices. Yeah, I believe that's something true to that. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. And this is one of the things that that despite how pessimistic I can get, I'm still hopeful. Right? I'm still hopeful that the more people talk about this, the more attention is brought to issues like this. You know, it will become mainstream. The goal is to make this mainstream. Okay. What else are you guys saying in the chat? Nothing else. And there are no super chats. Come on, guys, send in the super chats. Send in those super chats. Okay. Is it me? True religion. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Do you know who I am? The way Nigeria. Do you know who I am? Anyway, moving on. Moving on to Nigeria. Okay, and since we are talking about blasphemy, Nigeria has its own case issue of blasphemy, and it happened 2 days ago. 2 days ago or 3 days ago, there was another incident of somebody being lynched by a mob because they were accused of blasphemy. It happened in the state of Bauchi State. Okay, an irate mob in Bauchi had killed a man simply identified as Yunusa after he was accused of making blasphemous comments against Prophet Muhammad. Of course, we don't always know what these comments are. We just hear, oh, it was a so comment were made. What is the detail of the comment? We don't know. And everybody around came to the conclusion that it is blasphemy. Of course, that's how it happened. The incident was said to have taken place on Wednesday. So this happened on the 19th. So the same day I was watching Kendrick Lamar was the same day this was going on. Okay. This was said to have taken place on Wednesday at 3 p.m. in Nasaru community located in Ninji local government area of the state. According to an eyewitness, Umar Abubakar, an argument erupted between Yunusa and another individual, during which Yunusa allegedly made the blasphemous remarks, which quickly escalated to a mob action. The victim was a member of the Faira Islamic sect. When he insulted the Prophet, so what was the insult? When he insulted the Prophet, some young men challenged him to retract his statement. He refused and repeated it, which led to the beating. Abubakar recounted to Daily Post on phone. Another eyewitness who wishes to remain anonymous due to the tense situation said the police initially rescued Yunusa and took him to their outpost in the community. However, the mob overpowered the police and killed him. Does this look familiar, guys? Are you noticing a pattern? Are you noticing a pattern? Guys, say yes in the chat if you are noticing a pattern. I should be doing this often. Say yes in the chat. Say yes in the chat if you are noticing a pattern. Are you guys noticing a pattern? The police try to rescue the victim, and the mob do what? They overpower the police, and they end up killing the person. You know, this is the pattern of peace, in case you're wondering what pattern it is. Yeah, I can see all the yeses in the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for noticing. And it's good to know that I'm not alone. You know, efforts to get the reaction of the spokesman of the Bauchi State Police Command, SP Ahmed Mohammed, proved abortive as he did not reply to text messages sent to him. Of course, why will he reply? What do you want him to say? That he failed? That the police he has in his command failed? What do you want him to say? And of course, speaking of the pattern we are talking about here, speaking of the pattern, is that when you have this ideology in the mind of people, when you already have people who believe that it is incumbent on them, it is placed on them, Allah has given them this responsibility to kill people, or to kill people who insult their prophet, or insult their book, or do anything, you know, that desecrates their book, or you know, that is perceived or interpreted as an insult against the prophet, against their God. And these people believe that they have this responsibility to carry out the judgment of Allah. There's nothing you can do to stop them. There is nothing you can do. Okay, you may try, the police force may try. And here's the thing about the police force. Sometimes you have to even put yourself in the shoes of the police. So many of them in the police, you know, especially when you have someone whose name is Ahmed Mohammed. You think Ahmed Mohammed does not think this person is also supposed to die? Especially when he knows that since 1999 in this country, those who have been sentenced to death have not been executed. So even if this person is this man, Yunusa, was found guilty of blasphemy, and let's say the punishment is death, he may be on death row forever. He's in fact, see it as a life imprisonment, because he's most likely not going to be executed. So what do you think the mob is going to do? Take matters into their own hand, burn this person? You know, no fair hearing, nothing like that. And again, fair hearing for what exactly? What crime are you prosecuting somebody for insult, for saying something that is perceived as an insult against a religion? This is what is happening in 2024 in Nigeria, the giant of Africa, guys. You know, the giant of Africa. And many people don't know why we are called the giant of Africa. Let me tell you why. It's not because we have, of course, we have one of the economy, the Nigerian economy. We have the highest GDP, not GDP per capita, just GDP. We have the highest GDP. We have the highest GDP. Okay, we have the highest. But that's not the reason why we are called the giant of Africa. We are called the giant of Africa because Nigeria is the largest Black nation. It's the country with the highest population of Black people, over 200 million. No country like this. Okay, so that's why we are called the giant of Africa, and this is what we have to show for it, ladies and gentlemen. We have this to show for it. Daily Post report that Yunusa's death echoes a similar incident that occurred in May 2021 in Said village, in this local government area of Bauchi State. The angry youth has set a water vendor named Tali Marua ablaze for allegedly blaspheming Prophet Muhammad. Marua was detained at a local police station. The pattern, guys, the pattern is about to repeat itself, or it has already repeated itself, but let's note it again. Marua was detained at a local police station before the mob did what? Seized him from his cell and killed him. Are you noticing the pattern again? Seized him from his cell and killed him. Another incident occurred in May 2022 when a Christian woman named Rhoda Jatu, a 40-year-old woman of 4 and health worker with the Waji local government with the Waji local government area, narrowly escaped being lynched in Katanga, the headquarters of Waji local government area, after being accused of posting a video on her office's WhatsApp platform that was considered disrespectful to Islam, inciting the anger of the Muslim community. And this happens often. This is just incidents happening in Bauchi State, right? This is just Bauchi State. And the Sahara reporters, a news agency in Nigeria, compiled a couple of these stories. And according to the headline they published after this incident, they said blasphemy killings claim over 300 Nigerians since 1999 as police failed to prosecute suspects. So over 300. In fact, later in the article, you will read that it's not actually 300. It's actually over 1,000. Oh, yes, you're reading it correctly. Yeah, or you're hearing me correctly. In the article, it is later mentioned that it is over 1,000. So 300 is a conservative figure. Over 1,000 are believed to have been killed, blasphemy killing in Nigeria. And that's why we are the giant of Africa. One more reason. Okay, but beginning the article, they said more than 300 Nigerians have been killed in relation to blasphemy allegations between 1999 and 2004. Available statistics have shown. Sahara reporters report that many perpetrators have not faced prosecution, prompting outrage and calls for justice from human rights activists and religious leaders across the globe. Blasphemy is criminalized in many countries. According to the Pew Research Center analysis, 79 countries and regions out of 198 studies around the world, 40% has laws or policies in 2019 banning blasphemy. In at least 7 countries, Afghanistan, Brunei, Iran, Mauritania, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia, blasphemy can result in a death sentence. Blasphemy is considered a crime under Islamic Sharia law in Nigeria's 12 predominantly Muslim northern states. And let me tell you something interesting about these 12 predominantly Muslim northern states. Okay? In the Human Development Index, let me bring it up so that it's not like I'm talking, I'm just, Nigeria's Human Development Index. I want to see the one with Wikipedia. Okay. Now, here are the countries that are below the Human Development Index in Nigeria. And I want you guys to notice something. Okay. You know what? I also, to make you guys understand, I'm also going to show you guys the map of Nigeria so you can understand. Map of Nigeria. Nigerian states, so that it will show both, so you guys can understand exactly what I'm trying to show. Okay, so this is the map of Nigeria, right? These are the northern states. You have Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Yobe, Borno, Gombe, Bauchi, okay, let's not put and Niger. Let me count 12. But they are counting 12 Islamic states. I think Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Yobe, Borno, Gombe, Adamawa, Bauchi, and Kaduna. Yes. So these states like this, these are the northern states, right? These are the northern states. You can see northeast, north central, northeast, and northwest. So northeast, northwest. These people with this yellow and what would I call it, brown shade. So these are the northern part of Nigeria. And these are the Islamic states in Nigeria, the 12 Islamic states. Right? Now, let us look at people at the bottom of the Human Development Index in Nigeria. The bottom: Borno, Kaduna, Taraba, Adamawa, Niger, Kano, Katsina, Bauchi, Zamfara, Jigawa, Gombe, Yobe, Sokoto, Kebbi. What do you notice, guys? So in case it is still not clear, let's start with Kebbi. This is like the state at the bottom. Where is Kebbi? Over here, in northern states. Sokoto, where is Sokoto? Over here. a northern state. What Yobe? Where is Yobe? Over here, a northern state. Gombe. Where is Gombe? Where is Gombe? Gombe, a big kid now. Where are you, Gombe? Yeah, where is Gombe? A northern state. Zamfara. Are you noticing what I'm Are you noticing the awesomeness of Islam? Zamfara, a northern state. You see what Islam gives you? So much prosperity. The prosperity of Allah will shine on you when you follow Sharia to the T. Bauchi state. What do we have here? Where is Bauchi? Where is Bauchi? Where is Bauchi? Okay, that's the state where 2 people were killed recently, right? And 1 almost got killed but escaped. That's Bauchi. Katsina, that's the state of the former president of Nigeria. Where is Katsina? Over here. What else? Sorry. Kano, the notorious Kano state. Oh, you know why it is notorious very soon. And where is Kano? Over here. Adamawa state. Where is Adamawa state? Over here. Right? Which one again? Kaduna state. Where is Kaduna? Over here. And Borno state, the capital of Boko Haram. Where is the capital of Boko Haram, ladies and gentlemen? Over here. And this is how you understand why Islam is powerful. I just demonstrated to you the economic power of Islam and what it can do to human resource development in your area. Alhamdulillah. Moving on. Where was that article I was reading? All right. Blasphemy is considered a crime under Islamic Sharia law in Nigeria's 12 predominantly Muslim northern states. Section 204 of the Nigerian Criminal Code stipulates a 2-year imprisonment for public insult on religion. In 2002, over 200 deaths resulted from an extensive riot following a remark by Isioma Daniel, a journalist with this day newspaper. She humorously suggested that Prophet Muhammad might have chosen a wife from contestants in that year's Miss World competition set to take place in Abuja. So what was considered blasphemy? A writer for this day newspaper in Nigeria, her name is Isioma Daniel, right? She wrote in an article for the This Day newspaper that she was trying to be funny, that even Prophet Muhammad might have chosen a wife from contestants in that year's Miss World competition. And let's be honest, that is a true statement, guys. That is a true statement. If the noble prophet of Islam was alive in 2002, I was watching the Miss World I think that was the Miss World competition where Abani Terego, right? Is that her name? The Nigerian who won the Miss World competition. If the prophet was watching that year, I mean, he would have considered some of those women for wives. Come on, let's not act like Muhammad was not spreading the love. But that was considered blasphemous. And for that reason, over 200 people died because a riot resulted. Alhamdulillah, by the way. The news office in Kaduna was set ablaze by arsonists. However, the government of Zamfara state, now listen to what the government of Zamfara state is. And in case you don't know where Zamfara is, where are you, Zamfara? Zamfara state, this wonderful state over here. All right, moving on. However, the government of Zamfara state in northwest Nigeria issued a fatwa urging all Muslims, wherever they may be, to consider it a religious obligation to kill the writer. Alhamdulillah. In 2006, Florence Chuku, a school teacher in Bauchi, was murdered and accused of blasphemy for. Now, this is the blasphemy. This is the blasphemy. You're not going to believe it, but once you hear it, even your blood will boil. Like this teacher deserved it. By the time you hear what the blasphemy was, you'll be like, yes, she should have been killed. Are you ready? Okay, in 2006, Florence Chuku, a school teacher in Bauchi, was murdered and accused of blasphemy for instructing a student to cease reading the Quran during an English language lesson. Yes, Blasphemy was telling a student, do not read the Quran while we are studying English. And that was considered blasphemy. I mean, this is the wisdom of Sharia, the wisdom of a Sharia compliant society. She was killed along with 30 others. 30 others. So it wasn't like they were killing just her. It was like those who are close by. Like whenever Muslims are spreading that peace, they always like they give. You saw in Nigeria there's something called jara. You know, they give jara. They give. What is the English word for jara? Come on, Frank. Come on. It's like giving extra. Okay, so in Nigeria when you buy something, they might give you like, is it called discount? Discount is not it. Discount is when you give, as in reduce the price for somebody, right? That's discount. I've forgotten what it is called in English, but in Nigeria we call it jara. They give you extra. So when they are sharing that piece, even though one person deserves it, they might give like, and they are very generous with giving the extras, right? Very generous. You want to, one person is guilty. What if we kill 30 more, as in 29 more people? I mean, just spread the peace. You know, one person writes an article. Why don't we just kill 200 more people, right? Spread the peace. And that was what happened in this instance. In the worst recent riot in 2004, hundreds of people were killed, in Kano in a wave of sectarian violence, ostensibly as retribution for similar attacks in Plateau State, central Nigeria. I don't think this has anything to do with that, with blasphemy. Anyway, in March 2007, Christiana Oluwatoyin Oluwasesi, a school teacher from Gandu in Gombe State, northwest Nigeria. In case you don't know where Gombe is, I will show you. This is Gombe, right here. I hope my mouse can be seen. Yes, right here. This is Gombe. Let me. This is the great state of Gombe, right? So, what happened in Gombe State? A school teacher from Gandu in Gombe State, northeast Nigeria, was murdered on accusation of desecrating a Quran. It was reported that a mob stoned, stripped, beat, and stabbed her to death, and later her body was burnt beyond recognition. Although 16 suspects were arrested. Now, for this incident, 16 suspects were arrested, but they were later released without facing charges. And that's why I'm saying the same thing is going to happen in Pakistan. Arrest 1 billion of them, you release them because you do not really want to prosecute them. You don't. In March of 2021, this is how many years ago now? 3 years ago, in Sade village in Darazo local government area of where now? Bauchi State. Okay, we've talked about this one. This is Tau Marua, who was beaten to death and his body was burned to ashes following accusation of blasphemy against Islam and Prophet Muhammad. In fact, Sahara reporters have to put peace be upon him before they will be accused of blasphemy as well. Despite the irate youth storming the community police, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we already read this. What else should we? Okay, since 1999, 12 states in northern Nigeria have implemented Sharia penal codes, running alongside secular and customary courts. The enforcement of religious laws by this state poses significant challenges to upholding complete freedom of religion or belief. A 74-year-old Christian market trader identified as Bridget was murdered on June 2nd, 2016 at Kufa Wamba market in Kano State, northern Nigeria. In case you don't know where Kano is, I will show you. This is the great Kano State, the great Islamic state of Kano. And what happened in Kano? This lady was murdered by Muslim youth who accused her of blasphemy against Prophet Muhammad. 5 suspects, naming Dauda Ahmed, Abdullahi, Abdulmunin, Mustafa, Abdullahi, Abubakar, and Musa Abdullahi, of course these are Christian names, were apprehended and held in custody for the killing of Mrs. Bridget. They were charged with offenses which include inciting disturbance, joint act, mischief, and culpable homicide, but nothing happened to them. They were charged, but what happened? Nothing. However, on November 3rd, okay, this is what happened. On November 3rd, the Chief Magistrate of Kano State, Mohammed Jibril, of course, so you can see from his name that he was really an unbiased magistrate, acting on a directive from the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of Kano State, discharged the 5 suspects and dismissed the case against them, just like Allah intended. Despite the promise made by the former governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, the criminal. Nigerians know this guy as the criminal. Oh, this guy is a criminal. Abdullahi Ganduje, a criminal. Okay, despite the promise of this criminal that justice will be done in accordance with the provisions of the Nigerian constitution, the suspects were released some days later. And then we have the case of Mohammed Bala, the president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria, who was arrested on April 28, 2020 at his residence in Kaduna State. In case you don't know where Kaduna is, the great state of Kaduna. You got it right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. The great state of Kaduna. Okay, so what happened? What happened to Mohammed Bala? The president of the Humanist Association was arrested on this date at his residence in Kaduna State by the Kaduna State Police over a Facebook post he made that purportedly insulted the Prophet Muhammad. Bala was denied access to legal representation for over 5 months following his arrest and was held without formal charges for more than a year. Meanwhile, on August the 3rd, 2021, Bala faced 10 charges for causing public post he published on April of 20. Yeah, Jesus Christ. This guy was accused of public disturbance, not even blasphemy. The Kano State High Court on April 5, 2020 sentenced Bala to 24 years in prison after convicting him of 18 counts under section 210 and 114 of Kano State Penal Code. Around May 13, 2024, Kano State Court of Appeal ruled Bala's punishment was excessive and reduced his prison sentence to 5 years. Wow. I guess that's what we call mercy. I guess this is proof that Allah is indeed the most merciful. Bala has reportedly been denied adequate medical care while in prison. A musician in northern Nigeria state of Kano, in case you don't know where Kano is, this is Kano State over here, the great state of Kano. What happened to this musician? Was sentenced to death by hanging for blasphemy in a series of private WhatsApp messages against the Prophet Muhammad. But this has not been executed, obviously. According to a judgment by Upper Sharia Court in Hausawa Filin Hockey area of the state, said Yahya Sharif Aminu, 22, was guilty of committing blasphemy for his song he circulated via WhatsApp in March. Protesters had burnt down his family house and gathered outside the headquarters of the Islamic police, known as the Hishba, demanding action against him. Thank God they did. Maybe his good graces was that he was being held by Hishba. If he was being held by the police, by the federal police, Nigerian police, they would have, gotten him out of his cell and do to him what they did to others. The same court in 2021 found a 16-year-old Umar Farouk guilty of blasphemy for reportedly insulting the Prophet Muhammad while arguing with a friend and sentenced him to 10 years in prison with manual labor. A 16-year-old. In June 2015 in Kano, an Islamic court sentenced 9 persons, 8 men and one woman, to death for blasphemy. They were convicted of uttering the statement, Naise was greater than Prophet Muhammad, during a religious gathering commiserating Sheikh Ibrahim Naise, the founder of this whatever order. So these guys they were in an event, that was to celebrate a particular, sheikh, and because they were too, I guess, in love with the sheikh, they declared that the sheikh is greater than Prophet Muhammad, and of course, blasphemy. Interesting. In June 25th of June 2003. A butcher, Usman Buddha, I know of this story. I think I reported it. I don't know. Attached to Sokoto Abattoir, was killed for alleged blasphemy. He was alleged of making blasphemous statements about the person of Prophet Muhammad and allegedly refused to repent when asked to do so by his colleague. Actually, based on people who lived in the area who were eyewitness of the incident, they said it was not blasphemy. It was a personal dispute. And although, of course, Sahara report will have to go with the official police statement. But I'm just telling you, in this, if I can bring the article, even in the article that talked about this, it was mentioned that it was suspected that it wasn't blasphemy. That what was going on was a personal dispute. Anyway, coming last but not the least, and this one was the most outrageous, Debora Samuel, a Christian student in Shehu Shagari College in Sokoto. I was almost hunged in the last live stream because I said it happened in Kano. Sorry guys, it didn't happen in Kano. It happened in Sokoto, and where is Sokoto? This is Sokoto, ladies and gentlemen, the great state of Sokoto, right here. Okay, not to be mistaken with Kano, which is right here. I made a mistake in the last live stream. I said she was from Sokoto. Well, she was from Kano when she was actually from Sokoto, and I forgot her name. Oh, the chat will not forgive me for doing that. I'm sorry. Never will I ever again forget the name of Debora, and I shouldn't forget it because it's very important. Or is someone whose what happened to her was so unjust. Anyway, Debora Samuel, a Christian student at Shehu Shagari College in Sokoto, was stoned to death for allegedly posting blasphemous statements in a WhatsApp group being used by the students. And her Muslim colleague student posted an Islamic piece. She criticized the post. Of course, that's not what happened. That is not what happened. Anyway, but that's what is being reported here. 2 suspects were said to be arrested in connection with the murder of the student, but nobody has been prosecuted for the murder of Debora. In June 2024, of course, it is the recent one. We already went through that one. It was noted that punishment for alleged blasphemy are often administered through vigilante justice by Islamic extremists. Yeah, Islamic extremists, otherwise known as very passionate Muslims, otherwise known as devout Muslims, people who are fighting in the way of Allah, people who are, practicing Islam in full. Okay, the real recipient of Jannah. Okay, these are the people who carry out this vigilante justice, as Sahara reporters are calling it. However, in all of these people that were killed for alleged blasphemy, none of the victims were given the opportunity to defend themselves before they were killed by the mob. Since 1999, thousands of people have been mobbed to death for allegedly committing blasphemy. Like I said, you will see that it is no longer 300, but thousands. Okay, thousands have been mobbed to death for allegedly committing blasphemy. While 5 persons were reportedly taken to court. Most of these incidents occur in the northern states of the country, such as Kano, Bauchi, Sokoto, Kaduna, Gombe, and Jigawa. Kano, Sokoto, Bauchi, Gombe, where is Jigawa? And Jigawa. Wonderful states. These are places you should visit whenever you come to Nigeria. You should visit these states. They are great, awesome places for you to visit. That's where you see the beauty of Islam. Okay? Despite assurance from the Nigerian police about arresting the culprits, no arrests were made at the scene, of course. Moreover, there are no documented instances in Nigeria of anyone, and I want you to take note of this. However, or moreover, there is no documented instance in Nigeria of anyone being prosecuted or imprisoned for murders linked to accusations of blasphemy in the country. I'll read it again. Moreover, there is no documented instance in this great country, the giant of Africa, Nigeria, of anyone being prosecuted or imprisoned for murders linked to accusations of blasphemy in the country. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. There you have it, guys. That is what we find in the great Islamic states in Nigeria. Like I said, in case you find yourself in Nigeria, you're like, well, where are the places that I want to visit? I've given you the places you should consider visiting this place, okay? Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Yobe, Borno, Adamawa, maybe Taraba, and even you can also visit Niger. They're great states. You will love it. What is being said in the comments? What argument is going on now in the comments? You guys are always arguing about something. And sometimes the things you guys are talking about in the comments have absolutely nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I have wonderful people in the comments sometimes. Like, what is being said? What is being said? I have no idea. Anyway, I think There's a super chat. Yes, according to Judge, he said running out of stones must be a real cause. And it must be a real. It does not have stones, they find sticks. Okay, they never run. One thing that is necessary for you to commit to carry out the justice required in the case of blasphemy is just passion. That's one thing they don't run out of. The passion. That's what is necessary. Okay, the passion is what is necessary. Yeah, and these people never run out of that passion. Oh, he said people are saying Muhammad is the true messenger of course, see, we in this channel we don't dispute that. I don't know who want to. Of course, Muhammad is indeed, I mean, evident in what we are seeing, around the world. You see the beauty of Islam. You see, you know, you know, apostasy laws and blasphemy laws, and you see ethnic cleansing, and you see, jihadists, and you see all of that, and you cannot just help but come to the conclusion that this has to be the proof, right? This has to be the proof that Islam is indeed, true, and Muhammad is you know Muhammad is indeed like the the embodiment of truth. Yeah, and that's blasphemy already, because there's only one true person. There's only one person who you can call true, which is Allah. But I mean, where does Allah stop and where does Muhammad begin? It's hard to tell. So yeah, there's that. There's something I saw here. Is this person a Muslim? Are you a Muslim? Keju, whatever is your name. He said, may Muhammad send all of you to hell. Is it Muhammad that sends people to hell? Hey, that's blasphemy. What you just said now is blasphemy. If you're a Muslim living in a Muslim country, submit yourself to the authorities. You just committed blasphemy. Or repent right now. You have to repent of this, because Muhammad is not the one who sends people to hell. Muhammad does not have that power. Okay? Or you are just confirming the statement that I made. It's hard to tell where Muhammad stops and where Allah begins. They might just as well be one and the same persons. One and the same person, rather. Shana said, is your geography lesson causing problems? What is it about my geography that is causing problems? That is causing this is accurate geography. Accurate. Okay? There is nothing that is being misrepresented here. This is accurate. Okay? This is there's not, I did not miss, this is Islam in Nigeria. These are the Niger state is also another state that is now constantly being Islamized, like heavily. Niger state and Plateau state. You already know about the killing of people in Plateau state. I don't need to go into that in this. And they are also moving to places like Benue and Kogi and somewhere like, you can see that they are coming down south, just like Allah wants them to. But the majority Muslim states, the place where Sharia law is part of their criminal justice system, is this wonderful states here, these great states. And I'm saying you guys should visit these states. Look, and this is why I don't understand when people accuse me of being Islamophobic. I am promoting tourism towards in these places. Okay? And that is what I'm promoting. People always talk about, I want to go to the most dangerous place in Africa. Here is the most dangerous place in Africa. And it's a good thing. I'm not saying it as a bad thing. Like, dangerously peaceful. You get what I mean? This is the most dangerous place, Borno State. You go there, you link up with Boko Haram, you take pictures, you do selfies, you do your little content creation, and they will let you go. Trust me, they will let you go to Jannah or Gehenna, wherever you find yourself, but you will get somewhere. From Borno State, you will live to somewhere. It's certain. You will remain there forever. So, I don't think you know. Thank you, Aura. She said, I love maps. It makes it easy. Yeah, very easy. I don't know why people will be angry with my map. My map is the best. Someone said, my first stop will be Kano. Why stop? Kano. I would suggest you stop at Kaduna. That should be your first stop. It might be your first and last, but why don't start with the best? You should start with Kaduna right now. Kaduna is like where it is happening, like the real peace is happening. Kaduna, Borno, but you have to hit Kaduna to hit Borno first. So I would say start with Kaduna, then you find your way to Borno. And it should be a road trip. Don't go by air, go by road. That's the best way to have the real experience. Okay, the real Nigerian experience. And then here's the good thing. In case you don't even have to like stop at Lagos, then go by road to Kaduna. Do they have an airport? I don't know if Kaduna has an international airport, but Abuja does. So from Abuja you can, and it is even best to travel from Abuja to Kaduna. That's the best road trip of your life. I'm telling you, you will enjoy it. You just go for please guys, everything I'm saying, don't do it. Let me, in case people think don't do anything I just see this thing I just said, take a road trip from Abuja to Kaduna. Don't do it. Please don't. Don't. You will not be found. I'm promising you, if you're a foreigner, you will not be found. You won't. Okay? And if you are found, it will be among kidnappers. And the money they'll be asking for that's if you will still be alive. The money they'll be asking for, don't. It is very dangerous to travel by road from Abuja to Kaduna. It is very dangerous. Okay? And even worse, to travel from Kaduna to Borno. Don't even go here. Is it this place that is this whole place like no-go area? Please don't. Okay, I'm joking. And let's move on. I'm telling you, you'll be found in perfect pieces. I'm telling you, you'll be found in perfect pieces. Anyways, moving on. I wanted to look at this, but we'll skip that for now so that we can come to an end with all of the news. I mean, this is roughly 2 hours. Wow. Anyways, moving on with the news. This is from June 8th, the 8th of June. And according to Premium Times, suspected Boko Haram terrorists killed 20 people in gruesome attack in Niger State. I'm happy that my map is still on in case you want to know where Niger State is. I told you. Niger State, the great state of Niger. And I mentioned that Niger is on the verge of being Islamized. Very easy to be this Muslim majority, and maybe they'll even start implementing Sharia law in Niger State. This used to be like one of the Bible belts in Nigeria. We have Niger State, you have FCT, you have Plateau, you even have Taraba, but even places like Adamawa used to have like a good Christian population, but that is gradually dying out. Many of them are being forced to move down south. Anyway, so according to this news report, suspected Boko Haram terrorists killed 20 people in gruesome attack in Niger State. Let me make this big enough. I need to download an ad blocker because I can't deal with all these ads that keep popping up on all these Nigerian news sites. 20 people have been reported dead in one of 20 people have been reported dead in a series of attacks by suspected Boko Haram terrorists that began on Thursday in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. In this particular incident in Bassa, a town in the area, the terrorists beheaded 10 of the victims, all of whom were young men. And this was related by the survivors of the attack. The witnesses to this horror, who declined to give their names out of fear of the terrorists, said the young men were beheaded for refusing to join Boko Haram terror group. Why wouldn't you fight in the way of Allah? Why wouldn't you do that? Why? That shows that your devotion is not strong. Your devotion is so not strong, and that's pathetic, of course. Providing more grisly details, one of the residents who fled the community said the terrorists made members of the community hold the severed heads while they took pictures and made video recordings. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. They said the terrorists stormed the village in broad daylight on Thursday, assembled the residents and randomly selected 20 adults whom they shot at close range. They told us that anyone who refused to be recruited into their fold would be given a similar treatment. They said they used the 10 beheaded youths as an example. They said they had warned us that everyone should vacate the community, but we refuse. Speaking of ethnic cleansing, right? Move south. The community, but we refuse. It's either we join them or we leave the community. So if you are a resident of Bassa area in Niger State, here is your option. You either join Boko Haram or you exit the premises. Okay? I mean, good options. Good, great, great option. What other option what other better option can you ask for? Other villages attacked between Thursday and Friday include Lanta, Kasimani, this place, and Makuda. In all the villages, the terrorists reportedly set houses on fire and killed domestic animals. 2 months ago, suspected Boko Haram terrorists had also beheaded 9 people in Alawa, in the same Shiroro local government area, after the terrorists dislodged soldiers camped in the community. Wow. The 9 victims were said to have defied warning of the terrorists that villagers who fled during the attack on the military camp should not return. Yeah. This is happening in Niger State, guys. This is happening in a country with military, a country with police, a country with security agencies, with a sitting president and vice president and the security chiefs and the Senate president. This is happening in that country. In that country, you have terrorists telling residents of a community to vacate the premises and never return because they are now in charge. It is happening. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. You know, at one point I want to be angry with the Islamists. At the other, at some point I also want to be angry with the Nigerian government. I mean, well, let's not also overlook the fact that we have an alleged Boko Haram patron as the vice president of Nigeria. In case you want to know who I'm talking about, let me show you his face. VP Nigeria. Let me show you his awesome, lovely face. Right. What is this? I did not say open the Wikipedia. It's open image. Oh, this is kind of getting pixelated. But this, yes, the great man. This is the great vice president, Shetima. Okay, that's his name. His name is Shetima. He's a powerful man. Okay, a very peace-loving man who was seen on who was recorded on tape saying, "I'm going to push the Igbos into the sea. I'm going to push them into the sea." That's what he was saying about the Igbos. We are going to push them into the sea. Yeah, and the man was when this expression of love was made, he motivated a lot of people to vote for him. They were like, "Yes, this is it. This is the kind of leader we need." You know, after he made that statement, they were like, "Yeah, we like this. We love this." You know. So, anyways, back to that news story. The men went back to the community with their wives to get some foodstuff when they were rounded up and beheaded. They, the terrorists, asked the women to take the message to the people that anyone who returns to the community will suffer the same fate. The state government and the police had not issued a statement on the latest massacre as of the time of this report. Why? Why? Of course, silence is the best answer for fools who refuse to understand the beauty of Islam. Okay, silence is the best answer. However, the senator representing Niger East District, Sani Musa, described the gruesome murder of the 20 harmless villagers as barbaric, heartless, and inhumane, saying that his heart bleeds for them. This is my darkest moment as the representative of the people of Niger East Senatorial District. I am very helpless at this moment. You are elected to secure these people, and you are very helpless. Wow, I mean, my people, including men, women, and children, are being killed like animals. The question is, what do they want from the people? Yeah, that's the question. What do they want? What does Boko Haram want? These are harmless and innocent peasant farmers. They want to chase my people away from their land. Yeah, I mean, one thing about being a politician in Nigeria is whenever tragedy hits, you know, one thing you should do as a politician is to state the obvious. You know, like they want to chase my people away from their houses. In case you haven't noticed, you know. According to him, only 3 weeks ago, a group of bandits, the favorite terminology, bandits, attacked the Kochi community, killing 7 security agents and went away with 150 people. Up until this moment, the entire Kochi community remained deserted. The senator noted that the latest attack came when the locals were preparing to return to the farm, which is the villagers' only livelihood. Boko Haram has waged a decade-long insurgency in northeast of Nigeria, but have now extended their terror to Niger State, where terrorists affiliated to the group have seized many rural communities. So what they are essentially saying is Boko Haram have been operating in this region. This is the northeast, in case you're wondering, this region where my mouse is hovering. This is the northeast. Every place in yellow is the northeast. And now they are operating in the north central, which is like places like Niger, some part of Kwara, and even some parts of Kaduna as well. So this is where they are now, and they've gone from here and they jump pew, into this place. You know, so interesting times, and all the person representing this senatorial district can say is, I'm helpless. I don't know what to do. I was elected and I'm clueless. How about resign? You know, that's what people do in foreign countries, like in other countries where you are helpless, where you don't know what to do. You resign. But in Nigeria, no, you just keep taking the money. I keep saying, look, my people are helpless. You know, why Boko Haram keeps active. And in case you are wondering why, you know, Boko Haram is doing what they are doing, theirs is not hard to understand. This is not like Sudan. This is Nigeria. I can explain it very well. It is jihad. That's what they are doing. It's just good old jihad. You know, the fight, the struggle. Okay, that is just what they are doing. Good old jihad. That's what they are doing. Uh, and here's another, you know, jihad related news. And this is from the Los Angeles Times. When I saw this from I was like, yeah, it's better to read this from them. Jihadists from Africa's Sahel has crossed into northern Nigeria, a new report says. And when they say jihadists, they're talking about a group like ISWAP. In case you don't know what ISWAP is what I call ISIS West African Division. Whenever I say ISIS, I'm talking about ISWAP. ISWAP is now operating in Niger, Burkina Faso, you know, some parts of Mali, and now they are in northern Nigeria, you know, to help Boko Haram in their peaceful activity. This is from a report from Abuja, Nigeria. Jihadi fighters who have long operated in Africa's volatile Sahel region have settled in northwest Nigeria. Northwest. So they've settled here. In case you want to know where northwest is. Northwest Nigeria. After crossing from neighboring Benin Republic, that's Benin or Benin Republic, according to a new report. The latest trend in the militant movement to wealthier West African coastal nations. Yeah, one thing about this jihad is that they go to a place that is similarly wealthy, make it less wealthy, make it like poor, you know, poor in spirit. After making it poor in spirit, they move to wealthier places to see if they can make it poor in spirit as well, you know. And again, you should remember, just because that's to show you how much of the influence Jesus has on Islam, you know, when he said, blessed are the poor in spirit. You know? So these people ensure that this region remain poor in spirit. So that's what they do. They go from places that are wealthy, they're relatively wealthy, you know, make it less wealthy, and then move to wealthier places to, you know, establish the Islamic Caliphate as Allah intended. The extremists believed to be linked to Al Qaeda have in the last year crossed over from Benin. That's how it is pronounced, not Benin. Hard-hitting North region and settled in Kenji Lake National Park, one of Nigeria's largest. So they are settled in a national park. That is where they are right now. I want to give you a view of the Kenji Lake National Park, which is where they are settled right now. They are settled here. Yeah, they are settled here. This is one thing I like about Nigeria. You have criminals, we know their location, we know where they are residing, and nobody can even touch them. This is powerful. This is powerful. This is the power of Islam. This is the power of Islam. In part, you blame the terrorists. In part, you blame the government. It's just everybody has like is blame. There are different people responsible for something like this. You know, just contributing their necessary quota. This is a national park, built by the government, you know, as a reserve for wildlife and whatnot. And that is where terrorists are they're not even hiding. It's like we are here, come and get us. Wow. And it's one of Nigeria's largest national parks, right? And this is where other armed groups have also gained access, according to reports by this institute. Residents close to the park told the Associated Press that the facility, which holds one of West Africa's fast declining lion population, have been closed off for more than a year because of security threats from armed groups attacking neighboring villages and roads. So, in case you want to visit a park in Nigeria, of course, you know where to go to now. You can see what I'm doing. See, I've done so much for the North in this live stream than any Northern leader can ever imagine. Okay, I should be giving people should congratulate me. Okay, I'm doing so much in the form of tourism. In case you want to visit a national park in West Africa, one of the largest, by the way. You can also visit. You can always visit Kenji Lake National. I'm not sure if I'm even pronouncing it well, but Kenji Lake National Park. You can always visit there and meet with groups from Al Qaeda, ISWAP. They have like a retreat going on in that area. So you can always visit them and catch on, understand how peaceful Islam is, and live to tell the story, of course. So what else? Before it was like a tourist center. It is still a tourist center, but now people find it difficult to pass through there. And the person saying this from his name, John. You can see that John is a what? An Islamophobe. John is a what? Islamophobe. Before it was a tourist center, but now people find it difficult to pass through there. Said John Yerima, who lives near the park in New Busa town. You cannot enter the road leading to the park. Now it is dangerous, seriously. The security situation at the 20,000 square mile park in Niger State along the nearby border with Benin is getting out of hand and is a much more explosive situation than we have anticipated, said Kazde, whoever this is, one of the authors of the report and a senior research fellow at the institute, also an Islamophobe. The sustained presence of the armed groups in these armed groups in the park is the first sign of a connection between Nigeria's homegrown terrorists that have launched a decade-long insurgency in the northern region and Al Qaeda linked militants from the Sahel, the vast arid expanse south of the Saharan desert. This person reports. Their presence offers an opportunity for the extremists to claim large-scale success in both countries, already wrecked by deadly attacks in recent years, he added. Known as a global hotspot for violent extremism, the Sahel region's worsening security crisis comes as military coup are toppling democratic governments. As the military governments struggle to contain the violence, they are increasingly severing securities with traditional partners like France and the United States and turning to Russia for support. And here's the funny thing, one of the funny things that happened in West Africa and also in the Sahel region recently is when countries like Burkina Faso, countries like Mali, Niger, they're no longer part of ECOWAS. They are no longer they are no longer allied with the United States and with France, and they are now in alliance with Russia. Now, of course, the way the US and France have, the foreign policy of France and the United States in the Sahel region has been terrible. I'm not even going to defend the United States, or defend France. I'm not a fan of French foreign policy in West Africa. I have never been. I will never be. Okay? But I think at this point it's safe to say that these countries have jumped from the fry pan and have landed inside the fire. Because one thing Russia, especially Wagner Group, because Wagner Group is the security agency or contractors that is supposed to keep the peace in the Sahel region, right? That is what Burkina Faso is signing, is in contract with, although now it is being replaced by like the Russian military directly, right? But one thing these people are known for is not like keeping peace. Okay? What Wagner is known for is escalating, making the place more unbearable, unlivable, more hostile. When they do that, you need them the more, and they continue to stay there. And what they're interested in is exploiting your natural resource. That is what Russia is known for. To think that you are going to, like, the West is not, like, France is not great. The United States, their foreign policy in West Africa has not been great. Killing of Gaddafi was, we can make argument back and forth about it, right? About whether it was right, whether they should have, whether they shouldn't have. You can make that debate. But to say to move from that and go to, yeah, we are going to be allied with France. I mean with Russia. With Russia. Oh, interesting. I mean, anyways, we are all going to learn foreign policy together. That's one thing Nigerians always say. Whenever things are going, they say we will learn together. We are all going to learn together. Why you should never trust Russia. We are all going to learn together. And the textbook case will be Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. It is what it is. Anyway, in northwest Nigeria, security analysts have in the past warned that the region's remote territories, where the government is largely absent but have rich mineral resources and high poverty levels, present an opportunity for expansion for jihadi groups that have operated mainly in the Sahel, as well as the Islamic State group, that's ISIS, whose fighters hold sway in the Chad Lake Basin. A link between Lake Chad and the Sahel is a major opportunity for Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State to boast about their profile as leaders of global jihad, the report said. There's also concern from conservationists that the presence of armed groups in the parks could further threaten the remaining. You really still care about lions, huh? Lions is what you still care about. Okay, let's talk about conservationists. The remaining lions' population have declined as a result of poaching and climate change. Okay, these people are not serious. I think this is where we stop with this article. So yeah, that's what is happening. That's what is happening recently. We have Al Qaeda linked groups present in a national park in Niger State, Nigeria. Alhamdulillah. And we also have groups from ISIS operating in Lake Chad, operating in northeast Nigeria, and also northwest Nigeria. Interesting times. How much more news can we take? I had so many news I wanted to talk about, guys. I really had a lot of news. I wanted to talk about the killing in DR Congo. I wanted to talk about the rape case that happened in France. I want to talk about the 1,000 plus people killed by the heat wave in the Hajj. I want to talk about Palestine, but we can keep doing this for 5 hours at this point. But I am a bit tired, guys. I am a bit tired. So let's see where we can wrap it up. I think we'll wrap it up with DR Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo. Let us get the map so that people can know where the Democratic Republic of Congo is located. DR Congo map. So this is what have I done? What have I done? Democratic Republic of Here you are. So this is the Democratic Republic of Congo. As you can see, it is bordered by Central African Republic, South Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, Cameroon, Angola, Zambia. Yeah, so Tanzania too. So it shares border with Tanzania. So it's in the uh, Central Africa, right? Democratic Republic of Congo. So what happened in Democratic Republic of Congo? Let's get into that. Okay, according to Open Doors, at least 80 Christians were killed as attack in DR Congo continues unabated. At least 80 Christians have been killed in a spate of attacks in the North Kivu province of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Where is the Kivu province? Let us find it. Let's see. Kivu province. Kivu province. Don't mind me, I'm using these maps too much. I just want to know where this is Kivu, right? This is Kivu. So this is like the northwest of the country, right? Northwest, around this region, I guess. So I'm trying to familiarize myself with the Democratic Republic of Congo. In case you don't know, I don't live there. And I know nothing about how the area is. Anyway, except that I know that things are happening there. Wonderful things, by the way. Okay, the attack happened between the 4th and 8th of June in several villages, the deadliest day being the 7th of June when armed militants attacked Mansala, Mahihi, and Kemi, killing more than 50 believers. Homes have also been burnt and several people were reported missing. The horrific attack continued despite the change gong operation underway in the region. It's led by UN peacekeeping forces and the coalition between Uganda People's Defense Force and the Armed Force of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The victims are members of various churches, including this set of churches, and many were working on their farm when attacked. The Allied Democratic Forces, a militant group with ties to so-called Islamic State, ISIS, are believed to be responsible. And yeah, so ISIS are now operating in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Interesting. And after the attack, I think ISIS, the Islamic State has, this is a new report from the Christian Post, and this is published on the 16th. This last report was published on the 13th. So 3 days later, ISIS claimed responsibility. The Islamic State has claimed responsibility for killing dozens of people in a series of violent attacks lasting multiple days in several villages in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with at least 80 Christians reportedly among the dead, military and local sources say. The series of attacks saw one of the deadliest days on June 7, when suspected militants from the Islamic State affiliated group launched coordinated assaults on several villages in the Benin territory of the Christian majority North Kivu province. On Friday, the Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack that killed over 40 in the village of this place in this territory earlier that week. Citing figures from local authorities, this agency reports that nearly 150 people have been killed since the beginning of June by the Allied Democratic Forces. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And that, guys, is the news story that I'm going to use to bring this live stream to a close before we keep going and I faint here. I don't have the stamina to do a 5-hour live stream. Maybe I will one day. One day I will have the stamina to go through all the wonderful things that are happening. Sparking is asking when we brother debate with Muslim about what? Is that what would the debate be about? I want them to debate with me about jihad. I think that's what I would love to debate with Muslims about jihad. Of course. This promise Daniel said Allied Democratic Forces linked to the Islamic State. What a paradox! That's the funny thing about the name. And here's the funny thing about the group. The funny thing about the group is this militant group is they have been trying to link themselves with any terrorist group from the Middle East. They've been trying. Like let me read something. I have it here, but I didn't want to. I didn't know if I'll have the opportunity to read it. But let me. This is from the United States Department of State, or the State Department. I don't know how it is being called. Department of States, and it's the Democratic Republic of Congo, and this is giving an overview of terrorism activities in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I said the rebel group Allied Democratic Forces established ties with ISIS in late 2018. Before its ISIS affiliation, the group previously attempted outreach to Islamic terrorist groups for multiple years. Previously attempted outreach to Islamic terrorist groups for multiple years. As in, they have been trying for years to link themselves with terrorist groups, with Islamic terrorist groups for years. And finally, ISIS was like, all right, you know what? We got you. These people have been trying. And the funny thing is that they are called Allied Democratic Forces. And for years, they've been trying to link themselves up with terrorist groups, Islamic terrorist groups. That's just something I want to point out. Let me look at some of the super chats before I call this. And this is from Copin. Thank you for the super chat. He said that because some Igbos call themselves Jews. Who said what? Sorry, is there something I'm missing? You guys tell me something about it in the chat. What is Copin responding to? The Copin also said, I take it that there's a lot of goats in that. There are lots of goats. Yeah, there are a lot. I believe that should be the headquarters of Goat Hub, West African Division. Goat Hub, West African Division. I think that is their headquarters in that park. I think that is where they are. This is from Mary Mac. He said, "How long before you finish your See how long before you are finished? You want to ask a question? All right, I'm done. You can ask me the question. Any question you want to ask now. This is your opportunity, Mary Mac. If you're still on the live stream, you can ask any question you have for me. And this is also from my. You say hi, Frank. I on UK 27th. We will not stop loving X. Thank you. Yeah, it is Goat Hub West African edition or a division. That's like the headquarters in West Africa. Oh, yes. I was talking about this great man. What was his name again? I was talking about Shetima. I want to see if I can get an article. Into the river. I can't find. I don't think I'm not seeing any news article. Here it's talking about an Oba saying they're going to sink Igbos into the sea. Yeah, they always say that I mean, when it comes to one of the, there is this thing I saw one time where there's this lady, she's a Yoruba lady. From her name, I know she's a Yoruba lady. And she was talking about how racist the British, how the British government, the British society is racist, blah 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 blah. And I was just looking at her and I was like, you're a Yoruba person and you're talking about racism. You people are the most tribalistic group I've ever seen in my life. People as in so tribalistic. My God. I grew up in Lagos. The things we suffered as Igbos in Lagos. Hey, I cannot tell it all. I cannot tell it all. I cannot tell. So it's normal to hear an Oba say something like, "We are going to throw them into the sea. We are going to throw Igbos into the sea." But I think there's a leak audio of Shetima saying something like that. Like I don't know if I can play it, but he says something like that about he's going to throw them into, or something about throwing them into the sea. So, but I can't find it. I can't find it right now. Anyways, so yeah, that's the person. That's the person I'm talking about. Shetima, the wonderful vice president of Nigeria. He's currently the vice president. Somebody making such a genocidal comment is now the vice president of the country. So just so you know where we are headed, you know, as the giant of Africa. Yeah. Uh, yeah, guys. Any other question? Any other question? Any other super chat before I call it a day? Because I'm about to call I'm about to. When will I go live next? I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe on Monday. I think on Monday. I'll go. I should be going live on Monday. And I should resume making videos next week. I think. Why I've not been making videos is like a lot of shorts and long videos is because I'm trying to fix some things. Location wise. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, once that is settled, or even before that is settled, I'll still try to at least release shorts, but longer videos will be much later. And now that we have come to the end, I want to use this moment to thank everyone. Thank you all. Thank you all, over 90 something of you that we are like at the peak of, like 100 and something of you at the peak, but right now we are 68. So if you're like, yeah, we are done, we are going out. Don't know if I'm about to make a very important announcement as we are about to close. That's where my important announcement always come. Okay, they always come at the end. You have to state like the last word comes out of my mouth. Okay, that's how to be a true devoted Islamophobe. You have to wait till I say peace. You have to wait till that. You don't leave. Okay, you don't leave. That's not how you show commitment towards hating Islam. You know. Coping is saying bedtime for me. Here, have some nut shekels. Thank you. Nurse. Sorry, I don't even know some of these regions. So this region from which some of you are. Scandinavian, blah blah blah. Nordic, Scandinavian. What Scandinavian countries is that? So I'm just trying to Google something so I can. Norway. Oh, I just wanted to know where. Norway. Norway. We said it together. Norway. Norway. Oh, she said it. Copy is saying it's the best Scandinavian country. Okay. I hope you guys don't have people from the, awesome. Or you, I mean, of course, you should have them. I mean, why not? But I hope you have them. I hope you have. That's what I was trying to say. I hope you have people from the religion of peace, in Norway. Your R is endearing. Is it? Anyways, um, thank you all for staying with me this long. And the important announcement: subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on X. Okay, let us get to 1,000. I'm not yet at 1,000. Can you imagine? Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys this. There you guys can see. The reason this is how many followers I have on it. 986. Why? Why is it not 1,000? It should be more than 1,000 right now. Yes, granted, I'm not that good at. Not. I'm still trying to find my way around the whole, and I've not yet, gotten the blue tick. I'm yet to get that. I'm yet to get to buy Twitter Blue. Okay, that's what it is called. To get the Twitter subscription, I yet to subscribe to be a Twitter subscriber to get the blue tick. Okay, but the reason what is holding me back is that I don't have up to 1,000 followers yet. If I have 1,000 followers, I'll buy the blue tick. I will. So please follow me. Follow me. The handle is at Nigerian Perspective. X.com/NIG Perspective. There you have it. So please follow me on Twitter and also on Instagram. Okay, this is my Instagram handle. As you can see, I'm live on Instagram right now. Let's get to 3,000. Okay, so follow me on this platform and stay peaceful. Stay stay blessed, and until we meet again, peace.